Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I don't think I could. I mean,
You'll come
I've
out.
dated older women. I just, nowadays I ain't trying to do all that older dating. That's kind of I can't do that no more. Oh no.
I mean, dating's crazy nowadays. Like I hear like from a lot of people that going in person, like talking to somebody like a cold intro or whatever is like looked as like, oh my God, he's creepy. But if you hit him on the DMs, they feel a little more comfortable. It's gotten
Yeah.
to that point. It's weird.
Excuse me. Um, Matt, what you thinking, Matt?
All right.
Oh no.
They stretch out a little bit first. So we need to do like some after hours, dark hour episode, Patreon, something, so we can really get into the crust of these,
It's
these
coming.
stories. Also, dating stories, that would be a good one too. But
That
anyway,
episode's coming, baby.
I'll give the watered down version. So, well, one thing going back to what you were saying, G, in terms of women that you're attracted to, I was thinking about the other day about that, and realistically speaking, when you think about the modern westernized woman of today and in the future, how difficult do you feel it will be to find a woman who fits that role, that submissive role?
Oh, it's very hard.
Because a lot of them, a lot have been fed the whole, career first, independent, boss bitch, and then like secondary, it's like okay, like now you can get a relationship, but like realistically speaking, it's gonna be a difficult thing to find. I feel, at least in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that first. But for me, the type of women, I've never had a issue getting women. It's more of an issue of getting the wrong type of woman. So for me, usually women that I work with, I work in the medical field for past almost 2 decades, and it's usually either the fat desperate girl or the good old single mother who is completely desperate. And yeah, I again, never had an issue, finding women or anything like that. But I've been with different types, old, young, fat, skinny, black, white, what have you, masculine, feminine. But in terms of our disagreements that we seem to have with single mothers, I think it's okay if Ronnie P says that, hey, he doesn't have an issue being with a single mother. I think for me, and like you said too, G, if I were to have a child already, that changes a lot for me. But being someone who doesn't have a child yet, I've been in a relationship with a single mother where you're excited for your first child or potentially excited for your first child. So all the excitement that comes with that. But then you're with a single mother who says, well, hey, I've been through this before. So you're kind of like, well, damn, can I be excited? I mean, so that's where it does become difficult. I'm not saying single mothers are bad people or anything like that, but there is a difference when you're having kids with a single mother as compared to someone who's sharing that bond of having a first child with you and you're sharing that together. It's a big difference. So for me, I want to go through that. I want to go through, oh, hey, let's do Lamaze classes. I don't want to continuously hear someone say, well, I've done that before. I've done this already. I've done that already. We'll say, okay, I haven't. So can I experience it as well? Can I enjoy this moment? So for me, and I have my own experiences with single mothers, but for me, that's usually what the type of women that come up to me. They're usually desperate to the point where I literally have to say, hey, I want nothing to do with you. You literally have to be that crystal clear. I don't want to sleep with you. I don't want to have dinner with you. I don't want to hang out with you. Nothing. Nothing. I see Ronnie be smiling.
I'm
But yeah,
like,
if I were to,
damn.
but you have to be that crystal clear, because if you leave an inch, people will take a mile. We all know this. If you leave your window cracked, someone will eventually come into your house unannounced. So that means you got to lock that window down so that no one comes in. That's crystal clear. If I come in here, it's not going to be good. So, just in my experiences, unfortunately, those are the women who have come up to me. Usually, they don't have much going on. Usually, they live a life of chaos. And the number one thing that we all, as men, say we want is peace. And unfortunately, with a single mother, in my experience, you cannot obtain peace with them. You cannot. There's always some sort of baby daddy drama. There's some bad judgment that you're going to be affected by. You will be affected by every bad judgment decision that she makes. You will be affected by that. If the kid gets sick, you got to pay for that. If the kid gets into jail, you got to pay for that. But try to discipline the kid? Oh, no, sorry. You're not the child's father. You can't do that. And without getting to my spiel, those are the women who do come to me, which I have tried. I've been open-minded to it. I've gone through my experiences, and now I say, nah, no, thank you, not for me. Now we're talking about being high value. Now, if she wants to go and be with Pookie and Ray Ray, who just got out of prison, be my guest. But no, thank you for me. That's it.
Well, yeah, I think for the most part, the people who come up to, like, because let's face it, women who feel they have choices and stuff, they're not going to come up to guys like that. Like, most of the time it's going to be, what's the matter?
I'm looking at Ronnie P's, he's laughing over there. I'm sorry.
I'm over here like, yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. He is standing up.
Well,
no, Ron, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Trust me.
Like, because, like, for the most part, those type of women feel that they basically run out of choices. I mean, they're getting old, or their mileage is up and everything. I mean, like, women who are like in their 20s and everything ain't been with hardly anybody or whatever, or they still got it going on. They're gonna come up to guys. They say, shit, guys will come up to me and everything. So that's why you can have mostly, older women, like or baby mamas. Like, when I was working at the physical therapy place, man, I got hit on by older women like on a daily basis. I had this one person who was a doctor. Like, I thought she definitely wanted to smash. She definitely wanted to smash. But I mean, she would talk about, like, oh yeah, man, you make a great husband or something like that. Talking about her husband doesn't do this, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. And I think when she got discharged, she gave me a bottle of wine and $50.
There you go.
Hey, she said, you're gonna take care of this body.
Yeah. I mean, I know she wanted the, she wanted
more therapy.
She wanted the all that, but I mean, it just wasn't gonna happen though. Like, I mean, she'd be a smash at best, but who wants to get tied up into that? But that's what I'm saying. Like, when women reach a certain point where they feel like they're not getting whatever, and they feel like their choices are limited, they're gonna actively pursue.
They're on the hunt. They're like a shark that smells blood. And it's simple. When you think about it, I've thought about it's simple economics, supply and demand. The supply of women that we're looking for in terms of submissive, feminine, know how to take care of their man, and generally wants to make their man happy, the supply of women like that is low. The demand for it from men is high. So unfortunately, when it comes to finding that in a modern westernized woman, it's low supply with high demand. So you got to be high value. You really do. So really, do those type of women have to come and approach a guy? No, they don't. But unfortunately, the type of woman who's out there just promote.
not the average guy.
Well, yeah,
They'll do it for
yeah,
the top 10% who are making,
yeah,
10,000 a month or something like that.
yeah. But the thing is, the woman who is almost 40, dragging her feet when she walks, stringing along 3 to 5 kids with her, who has nothing to offer, who's a
Bonnet on
single
her head,
mom with 3 or 4 baby daddies, 2 bonnets. Come on,
baseball cap on
really?
her head,
Why would why
playing
would
shortstop
some
or some
guy
shit.
in his right mind, why would he want to go through that? You know how much of a headache comes with 3 to 4 baby daddies? And here's what they're going to do. Here's how they're going to try to get you hook, line, sinker. They're going to say, hey, I know that men are visual creatures, so I'm going to get them with the box. That's how I'm going to get them. Because once I open my mouth, I'm not going to get them that way. I'm not going to get them with my intelligence. I'm damn sure not going to get them with my past. I got 3 to 5 kids I'm stringing along at the grocery store, rocking 2 bonnets, 3 to 4 baby daddies. I'm damn sure not going to get them with that. The only way I can get them is with my body. And again, like I said, a high value man, he may smash and then toss you to the side. But in terms of putting a ring on it, which all single mothers want to be married and this and that, no. Why should he? Why should he share what he's built, his resources with you, and go through all that drama? Again, like I said,
I
they
heard.
can go and get Pookie and Ray Ray when they come out of prison. They'll be with them. But in terms of a high value man, come on. I mean, look at the comparison. Almost 40, 2 bonnets, dragging your feet, 3 to 5 kids, 3 to 4 baby daddies. And I should want that compared to someone in their 20s, hasn't gone through the trauma, doesn't have any kids, has more of a vision. It's an easy choice. There's no comparison. It's a no-brainer.
I
So
heard
unfortunately,
that I'm going to jump in. I heard that there are
yes,
some states with laws out there that, let's say you get with a baby mom or a single mother, and you're performing all these, daddy, being daddy and paying for this and paying for that. I heard there's laws out there that the single mother could sue you for child support, even though you signed no document
Yeah,
and is the
claiming
child
the
really
kid.
married?
that
You know
used
about
to
that,
be.
Ron? You know about
Uh,
that?
hey, as a person that goes through child support, I've heard of
We're talking guys
you
who
living
didn't
with.
birth the child,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
just basically
yeah.
standing
There
in
is some.
as the
Yeah,
daddy.
I've heard of where they've been living with them, and somehow, some way, they was able to get child support from the guy is paying child support for kids that are not his. Um, I don't know how that worked. I don't know how
I
that.
don't
I don't
either.
know what state. What I mean, maybe in somewhere that maybe they thought that the child. There has been cases I've heard of where um, the guy was there, pregnancy and all that, and it came out not to be his child, and then somehow, some way, he was still paying for it. Um, I did hear about stories like that where it's like, yeah, I'm just in the house, and then all of a sudden, I got to pay for child support. I gotta give you money for you and your kids. Like, I've
Mm-hmm.
heard of stories like that. I don't know what state that is, but I'm
Think
hopefully
wherever
I'm
D
never
Wade's baby mom's at.
wherever they at. I'm staying far away from that.
Yeah, stay
Yeah,
away. Yeah, that's why you
that's
just
the
don't
craziness.
associate. You just don't contend with them. Just
Well,
purely.
that's what I said, and again, I've lived it, and I'm not saying every single mother is the same, but I'm just talking about from a logical, lawful perspective. You get with a single mother, you're in a relationship, and inevitably, what happens? You get close to the child or the children. Now, say if something happens and you and the mother break up, what happens to the relationship you had with the child? it vanishes. You have no rights to the child at all. Does not matter what you paid for, does not matter the emotions, nothing. It's as if it never happened. It was just a waste of time. You have no rights. You cannot go to court and spend any time to get that child. It is up to the mother if she wants to allow you to still see that child. So to what advantage is it for you? No advantage. And just, I don't know, for me, just like promoting another man's legacy is kind of especially being someone who wants to have kids as well. And then to have a single mother dictate and say, hey, you know what? I could give you 1 or 2. Well, okay, what if I wanted 3? Oh, no, sorry, I can't do that. But you got 5? And you're going to give me 1 or 2? And you got 5? Come on. With 4 baby daddies?
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It is not worth it. I'm telling you. I've lived through it. And then you can't discipline the kid. You can't discipline the kid, but if the kid gets into trouble, you've got to pay for that. You're on the hook for that. But when it comes to discipline, no, you can't do that. You're not their father. But they get into jail, you're on the hook. They mess something up, you're on the hook for that. Where's the advantage?
Yeah, I've had those type of situations where, dating a single mother and, you're now in a relationship and the child, you can't, you want to discipline the child. You see something that the mother does not see and you cannot discipline them. Like you can't do, hey, you sit down or you do this. Number one, the kid looks at you like, what is this going on here? Like you ain't nobody if they really don't respect you. Then you could talk to the mother and the mother's like, oh no, they're not doing that. They're not that bad. And you're like, oh, you don't know. You're you love your kid. You're like infatuated with your kid. You don't see the craziness that happens between them. And it's just like you gotta, those are the things that really do is a big turn off from dating a woman with children. When you can't be the man that you need to be with these children, because if it's taking them to Chuck E. Cheese, it's fine. But when it's like, hey, you can't act up when we go to Chuck E. Cheese, that's the problem. Because I gotta discipline you now, and you're gonna and mom, you're not happy that I disciplined your child. Child, you feel a type of way because I've now disciplined you or have to discipline you. In that case, that mother always should know, or that's something that really has to come up with the conversation of, listen, if we're together, I'm not saying I wanna be disciplining your kid or anything, but if you leave them with me, I expect them to act a certain way. If we're gonna, I don't need if I tell them to sit down, I'm telling them to sit down because they need to sit down, not because I'm trying to be rude or trying to be any type of way. I need them to sit down because they're acting up. They can't be running in the stores, hiding in the dresses, doing all types of stuff. Can't run around the DMV. Can't do all this stuff. The only place they're supposed to run around is in a playground or in an entertainment place. That's it. So if I need to do that, am I able to? And if they're like, no, well, you should confer to me. Yeah, listen, we got to go. I got to go. Because obviously you don't have enough trust in me to make sure that your child is good. And I don't want to be in a position of I can't do nothing.
And that's the problem, because if the child says, hey, you're not my father, how do you respond? You're done at that point. There's nothing you can say. If you don't have that understanding with the mother, especially if the mother undermines your authority in front of the child, that's a big problem. Because now the child picks up on that and says, mommy doesn't even respect him enough to back him when it comes to certain disciplining tactics. Therefore, I don't need to respect what he says. So that's why, it's very hard to be the single mother and not fall into that like stepdad role, because at some point you're going to want to discipline the child. It's just inevitable. So, you know, if you haven't worked those kinks out with the mother, it becomes difficult because then you're not respected in your own house. But yet when it comes to paying bills, oh, she comes right to you. So again, it's just, you know, all in all, there's a lot of disadvantages. So I know a lot of single mothers, their, you know, calling card is, hey, I'm a total package. You get me, you get my kids. Well, if being with you is going to have me go through this, like any package I get in the mail, I'm going to write on it, return to sender, because I don't want it. I don't want that package. It's not worth it.
You know, like, and I'm sorry, G. I know you was getting ready to say something. Real quick, I was just saying, like, you have to honestly think about if you want to deal with a woman, how are you dealing with her? Like, make sure that they show themselves. So if she's showing herself to you, and then when you meet the kid, you're gonna already know like this is something I like or something I can't deal with because they both go hand in hand. That person is, you know, the kid is a part of them. So they're gonna show their quality, you know, they show their qualities through their kids. So if you can't deal with her and you think she's showing off for you now, and then once she gets comfortable and once you meet the kid, you're gonna see like, oh, yeah, you act like your mother. Yeah, I can't do this. Sometimes that's when you gotta cut it right there, you know. And it's nothing against the kids. I love the kids. You know, kids always need somebody. They need more male
I
figures in
love
their
the
life.
kids.
Trick love the kids. But you know, they do need more male figures in their life. We can't just be, you know, hey, I'm your friend today, and once the relationship dies, I don't know you. But it's very hard for us, all of us, to get past certain points in our lives. And I wish kids have more male figures in their lives. You know, some type of person they can come to and talk to.
Yeah. So yeah. So we're running kind of long with this conversation, but it's definitely something that needs to be uh talked about. And we're gonna have a whole thing. I don't want to give everything out, in this episode. I want, people to be able to digest everything and stuff. And we're gonna have a whole panel and everything. I believe I want to have a whole panel at a later date. But yeah, like this is basically we just want women who just gonna treat us like men, like, and yeah, we gotta step up as men, but we need women who are not gonna give us a hard time and stuff and not be a problem and be combative, and that it is a lot of expectations that we have of these women as well. So, and we just don't think that the majority, not, I'm not saying all, but majority of single mothers don't recognize that. So that's basically what we're discussing, but we'll definitely come back to this. But yeah.